Kirov reporting.
Hello comrades. So, we started this league with Deadeye Spiral Volley. This skill is cool, but kinda boring and clunky. Then, we respec into Huntress Flicker. Our first idea was to take Amazon Ascendancy, but in a last moment, we changed our mind, and take Ritualist. That Ascendancy looks busted, on a paper. But turns out, it was trash. We should do more theory crafting in Path of Building 2 before we start leveling. So yeah, we just spend our first 3 days on absolutely nothing, and yeah, all 3 times we started from actual zero. On day 4, we finally start a real main character. Invoker. Lightning. Flicker Strike. And yes, leveling was terrible, rares are crazy, progression is bad, most nerfs are unnecessary. But, we don't want to make a whole video about it. GGG will fix everything soon TM, hopefully. If not, we still have PoE 1. At least once a year. We found 2 exalts. So we bought this overpower amulet for leveling. That thing makes PoE 2 feel a lot faster. Starting the journey on day 4 feels a lot better, since most of leveling items are pretty cheap at this point. As you can see, we're using lightning arrow against multiple targets, and default attack against bosses. Why? Default attack has more damage, more attack speed, and it doesn't cost mana, which is really important, especially against bosses with huge HP pool. So yeah, hopefully they won't nerf the default attack, because it's kinda broken. Level 28, it's time to change our weapon. GGG makes a lot of mistakes in 0.2, but the stupidest thing they did, was the nerf the amount of jewels in a tree. What was the point? You already nerfed everything. Revert this change, please. After 39 ding, we can finally use new bow, Sliver Tongue, really cool unique, with big physical DPS, and giga clear speed. Second lab. And we take another damage ascendancy, of course. So, default attack is good, but it's time to reroll. And damn, not starting with quarterstaff was a bad idea. Gameplay is smooth. And bosses now are a lot easier, especially after the patch, where GGG nerfed monster HP during the axe. So we need a new way to activate charged staff, combat frenzy, and freezes, the easiest way to sustain power charges. Alright, it's done, time for some endgame stuff. Well, and turns out, we are completely broke. Let's try our first map, it can't be that bad, right? Well, we actually super weak. So yeah, let's sell all the currencies we have. 7 exalts, good enough. New helmet, with life, and resistances. Maybe wasting 2 exalts was a bad idea, but mana is cool. Casual rare gloves, with life, and resistances. New ring, that we just traded. And boots, with at least 25 movement speed. So, after all the runes, we almost have our resistances capped. Good enough. We will start flickering as soon as possible, because right now, it would be really clunky. The problem is not just campaign, if you unlucky with good items, early maps feels really shitty. Alright, first good drop, Greater Jeweler's Orb. And, almost perfect bushwhack. We can finally respec our build into Powercharges, for better charged staff sustain. We need new body armor, with tons of evasion. Well, that's good, we got extra fire resist. 1.6k evasion, more than enough, for now. And of course, with this body armor, we can use this ascendancy, extra 80 spirit, for free, huge. So now we can use Ghost Dance, and cast on freeze, with Sniper Mark, for better power charge sustain. But yeah, still no Flicker Strike. Shattering palm explosions are actually quite satisfying. It's cool that we still have PoE 1 rare monsters, it makes the game more fun. New ring, slightly better than our previous one, with more flat damage, and resistances. new rare gloves, and new belt. Damn, it's big now. So, let's finish the third lab. More extra damage, that's what we need. Now, it's time for a flicker strike. We'll use Reaper's Invocation, with Profane Ritual. It's super clunky, but it'll do, for now. And, Sacrifice, with Skeleton Summon, and self-cast Profane Ritual, on a swap slot. Another giga clunky tech, but, it's really effective. With this method, we can sustain power charges before the fight starts. Also, to summon skeletons, we need the space. Just don't forget to set up all those stuff on the second slot. And, new weapon. With 550 DPS, huge. So, we start the map, swap, Profane Ritual, and here we go, we have some power charges. Good, but clunky. And during the map, we just spam Reaper's Invocation, to get some juicy extra power charges. The damage is good. But, it's very random. It's really weird how Flicker Strike works, so, if we crit, all our 14 plus hits will crit, without crit, Z DPS. And, new amulet, with more attributes, resist, and crit damage bonus. So, now we can try to test our first idea, cast on crit Profane Ritual. And with that, we can use Infernal Cry, to boost our single target DPS. So yeah, sustain is pretty decent, and less clunky, that's for sure. Also, to proc Moorcock, we can use this Ascendancy. Great. Another cool thing, when we crit with our Flicker, we basically get all our power charges back, because Flicker Strike proc Profane Ritual. Stuns are way too annoying, especially because Flicker Strike has this annoying animation delay. Good. Huge drop, finally. So yes, our boss damage is huge, but please, GGG, don't nerf Flicker Strike. It's still pretty challenging, and very clunky, just the way you like it. And without a crit, the damage looks like this. New staff, with less damage, but more crit chance, and +4 to all melee skills. Crit is actually more important than damage. And new ring, to fix our attributes problems. So yeah, after some testing, it feels like that Storm Wave is better, in terms of sustaining power charges, and because it's a ranged skill, it feels a lot smoother than Tempest Flurry. So, the gameplay look like this. We press Flicker Strike, crit proc, kill bunch of monsters, and at the end we get all our power charges back. It's not a 100% flicker uptime, like in PoE 1. But, it's actually pretty close. It's sad that they nerfed Herald of Thunder, but, it's still pretty useful. Flicker Strike is definitely not dead, that's for sure. We spend about 80 exalts. Pretty unlucky with the drops so far. The build is super cheap, but, has a lot of potential. So, stay tuned. And if you like this video, leave a like, or comment, or both. See ya in the next videos, comrades.
Orders, comrade?